Hi you guys, it's Atri. I'm back again with another video. In this video, it will discuss what I wish I would have known before picking my esthetician school. But today I'll be looking from some notes, and I actually wrote these notes when I first was originally going to start my YouTube channel. So they're pretty good and in-depth. And then I can add some pieces that I wish I would have, that I could have added back then, if that makes sense.
Today is my first day of esthetician school. I will be attending Aveda Institute of Dallas.
But let's get right into it. So I went to Aveda Institute, as I said in my previous video. I actually went to the Aveda Institute off of Park Lane in Dallas to start researching esthetician school the summer of 2018. So it was around June, July. I began to research esthetician schools within the area. I kind of looked at cost. I really was focused on the days that you have to go to school and also the location. And now that I did that, I kind of really regretted that, because I would have persevered through and drove further if I need to drive further to get better education. And I would have never focused on the price. In a sense, yes, but in a sense, kind of no, because I wish I could have got more bang for my buck. But hey, your girl is licensed now. And to those who are currently enrolled in esthetician school and your time is almost coming up to do your test, study. Don't think about it too hard. Don't overstudy. And remember, everything that you learn in school, most of my esthetician tests I felt like was sanitation, probably knowing the different colors of the woods lamps, maybe knowing a couple of different of the facial massages, but mainly knowing how to sanitize, clean, and some of those rules that are in your TDLR book. That's the tip for you guys who are in school. Don't think about it too much. You've been doing this for 6 months, or for some of you who are part-time, it could be 11 months to 12 months. It's not that hard, I promise. Don't make it more than what it has to be. But I enrolled in Aveda Institute actually August 2018, and my start date was, I want to say, like December. It was the first week of December of 2018, and it was a 6-month program. Also, again, I'm here in Texas, so we need 750 hours to become a licensed esthetician in the state of Texas. And yes, I did get all of this information off of TDLR, which would be a great resource to use during your journey. Oh, boom, I got the date. My start date was actually December 4th. Originally, they used to have something called a Aveda Camp, which was 4 days, but they changed it at the last minute, and we started class on the actual 4th of December. Okay. I attended school every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for 10 hours a day. And let me tell you, it was hard. It was really hard, especially being a single mom. That was a sacrifice that I had to make, and as well as I worked a full-time job. It wasn't for the weak. It wasn't for the weak. You couldn't miss a lot of days from school, so it would be some Saturdays where people would invite us to birthday parties, and unfortunately, we were not able to make them because his mom was sacrificing fun for our future. The school cost, this was back in 2018. I wonder what the price is today. So I'm going to add the price below what it would cost to go to Aveda Institute today in 2021. Oh, 2021. But back then, school was a whole whopping cost of $11,105. The cost of actual school was $9,255. We had a kit. The kit was priced at $1,850, which led to $11,105. I did do the FAFSA route. My nail net loan was $7,917 with an interest rate of 5.5%. I have not paid my student loans back. So look, I ain't made it there yet. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I have not made it there to even begin repaying due to COVID. One thing about COVID and the pandemic, however you reference it, the Panda Express. Look, TikTok be giving me all the little different names for the pandemic. But due to the pandemic, I have not had to make any payments. But so my main question I always get asked in my DMs on TikTok, Instagram, was Aveda really worth it? It's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. It was not worth it, you guys. It was not worth it. No. Now that I'm a licensed esthetician, this is my second year. No. I really regret going to Aveda. Hate to say it, but I do. The reason why I feel, one of the main reasons why I regret going to Aveda, they did not prepare me for the industry, especially when it comes to treatments. No. And if I were to go back in time, I wouldn't have just jumped on the first school that was able to accept me. I would have been patient, did my research, learned what exactly route I want to go in the aesthetics world, and then I would choose my school from there. But I'll provide y'all with some positives and some negatives, and what you should try to consider to think about when choosing your esthetician school if you are currently considering enrolling into esthetician school. My mama always told me, let's start with the bad news first, then we'll go into the good news. Let me just get the cons out of the way for you. First of all, we had a teacher that didn't really teach anything for a month. And then he decided to move. So, a month of just nothing. The new teacher that we then got for our class, because we had an A side and a B side, the new teacher that we ended up getting, this was her first time ever being a teacher, and we had to get adjusted and acclimated to her teaching style. And with this being her first time, you know how that went. And the school was very, very, very disorganized. They didn't keep any promises that they promised us. From field trips to activities to doing things in the treatment room that we were supposed to try, being able to wax, doing Brazilian waxes, things that the industry wants, we did not do. Aveda is a very holistic company, so they don't do microdermabrasion. We didn't learn chemical peels. We didn't learn dermaplaning. We did not use any type of modality at all. We didn't even touch on chemical peels. At this time, I don't know what they're doing at school now, but at this time they had a specific exfoliant. They had bamboo extract, and they kind of related to microdermabrasion and said that it gives a polished look like microdermabrasion. I didn't really learn how to properly prepare to be a solo esthetician, or didn't learn how to create a game plan on how am I going to operate a business if I decide not to work for a spa. How do I pay myself? How do I budget my money? How do I order retail? How do I begin to save for big machines and big modalities and things like that I eventually want to add on? We didn't really even go over and touch different skin types. We didn't go in depth with different type of skin conditions. Nor me being a Fitzpatrick 4 through 6, probably, you, depending on how you want to do it, you can kind of label me between the 4 through 6 area. I always say that I'm a 5, but some people have their own preference on what they want to label me in the Fitzpatrick realm. We didn't really touch over African American skin, and me being African American, not deterring any other race away from getting a service for me, but my prominent marketing audience is to my ethnicity, and we didn't touch that. So it's a lot to know about treating the darker Fitzpatrick, because you can't treat the darker Fitzpatrick like you could treat I guess you would say the 1, 2s, and 3s. Like, you can't treat our skin the same way. You can pretty much chemical peel a first-time client Fitzpatrick 1 through 3, but you cannot chemical peel a first-time client who's Fitzpatrick 4 through 6 sometimes. Different things apply, but everybody practices different. But that is one thing that you cannot do. And let me tell you, meet the director of your school. Meet whatever director of the school that you're going to go to. Because that one at Aveda, where the nuts? Let me drop some nuts, some acorns. Because, no. And lastly, what was interesting to me, not to pull the race card, but what was interesting to me is while being in esthetician school, I was able to go through Christmas, New Year's, Cinco de Mayo. What other holiday? Can't think right now what other holiday there was during my 6 months of being at school. We didn't even celebrate Black History. We didn't do not one thing, but we did something for all the other holidays. And that really left a bad taste in my mouth because, no. It's a no for me, dog. Now, the positives about going to Aveda Institute. I actually met some great people, and I still to this day follow them on social media, and we hit each other up here and there. So I would say some long-lasting relationships. I do feel like Aveda, going to their school had the spa. Going to their school had the whole spa atmosphere, so I was able to learn how to greet a client professionally, walk them back to my room. I was able to know how to flip a room pretty fast because we all had a room to ourselves on certain days. I was also able to properly know how to do my laundry, fold up my items and put them away, set up my display on how I'm going to do a facial, and really some of my customer service aspects I was able to grab while being at Aveda, as well as learning how to retail. Now, when I was in school, I did not take retailing very seriously because I always just said, I don't want to seem like I'm being pushy. I don't want to be the pushy salesperson. If they ask, then I, can present the information. If they don't ask, then it doesn't matter. And I hate regretted thinking like that because now I'm a solo esthetician and now I try to push product, but I still try not to be too pushy. But I should have mastered how I want to talk and communicate with people while being at Aveda. So that is one thing that I wish I would have took a little bit more seriously. But in the last piece of my video, if I were back in time and I was looking for an esthetician school, these are a couple of things I think you should keep in mind. I would keep in mind cost. I would really want to know what their curriculum consists of. What are they actually going to teach you? Are they going to teach you what the industry wants? Or are they going to go over the basics? Or depending on what type of esthetician you're wanting to be, I would make that, know what your 4 major things are, or whatever major items that you really want to know. I would make that be known and present that to the academic advisor. Hey, I am going the route of being a corrective skincare therapist or a facialist, and I want to know, are you going to teach me blah, 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 blah. That is important because I've spent a lot of money on continuing education just to regrasp the basics that I should have learned in school. Also, I would want to see on a day-to-day basis, how is the classroom being ran? How does the teacher teach? Also, what book do they use in the classroom? We did not use Milady, and we tested based off of Milady's type of questions. So that was a little confusing for me. So I would take that into consideration. I would also take I would really take location out of the equation if I had to redo school, because it was some schools that were great that were a little further out, and I feel like I could have made that sacrifice, because in the end, I feel once you have a strong basis in skin, like you have that solid foundation in the beginning, you can take off the ground running. It's just that simple. What else? I can't think of too much of any other items I would like to provide feedback with. But remember, as always, thank you for tuning in to my YouTube video. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is below. And don't forget, click the link to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. And this is Ashley Plus Skin. Thank you for tuning in.